Hello and welcome back to For Better For Worse, a podcast about love, marriage, and all the shit that comes with it. I'm Sian.
Hello, I'm Ryan. You shocked me a little bit then. I didn't know. You don't usually swear in the intro.
I know, but I thought I'd mix it up a bit.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I've got no issue with it. I've heard a lot worse come out your mouth. So. But yeah, it just took me aback.
It took you aback.
Yes. Right. Anyway, let's start with annoyances. We anyone who's new to the podcast, we start each episode off.
However, we didn't last episode. We forgot.
No, but we start each episode off with something that's annoyed us about the other person.
Yep.
Therapy. We'll call it therapy. Well, maybe this avoids us going to therapy.
We don't need therapy.
No, I know. But go on. Have you got anything?
No, you go first.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
So a couple of things.
No, it's one annoyance.
Okay, the annoyance with a couple of examples then. The annoyance is, I don't know how to put it across, claiming you're going to do something and then not doing it, or ignoring something, or like, however you want to put it. So like...
Examples,
yeah, I have them. Many.
No, just an example.
So one example of this would be, I use dry shampoo on my hair. Yeah, I don't wash it all the time. Use dry shampoo. I noticed one of them had disappeared, and then Sian was using it. Yeah, happy with that? Yeah, the all factual.
Factual.
I asked you about 3 weeks ago, could you order me another one? You said, yeah, no problem. I'll order you another one. Didn't happen. I asked you 2 weeks ago. Didn't happen. And then we had a little chat, didn't we, before we started recording the podcast?
We had a little chat.
We did. And I there was a couple of things. I asked you to book the dog in to have her hair done because you said you'd do that.
Her hair done?
You know what I mean?
An
haircut,
salon.
whatever. And because you said you were going to do that and you haven't done that. And then I asked you to put the car charger for the iPhone back in the car, which you said you were going to do the other day. It's a car charger, so it stays in the car.
Yeah.
So that was the other one, which you still haven't done. And the dry shampoo, which I've been asking you for 3 weeks to order another one, and you still haven't done it.
Okay. One thing about the dog.
Yeah.
You know who does her hair?
Can I stop this? I'm going to stop you, right? I'm going to stop you right there, right? Because this is always your argument, right? You go, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, no worries. I'll message her. I'll message her. And then we go a couple of weeks, right? And then you go, well, you know where it is that she has it done. Yes, but you said you were doing it. So bloody get on and do it. Don't say you're going to do it. And then don't do it.
I've been very busy.
Yeah, if you help. What, napping? When I rang you before you were asleep.
Because
and it was only 5 o'clock in the evening. You go, I better put tea on, I suppose. Yawning already.
I'm very tired. I don't sleep very well at night. Anyway, my annoyance is you're just a bit of a dick, aren't you?
See, you've got nothing.
I have.
Go on then.
Right. When Ryan's on 6-2... on his shift, I'm usually in bed, obviously, when he goes, because he leaves at like ridiculous time in the morning, half 4. So when I get out of bed at 6:15, I make the bed. I straighten it all out, put the cushions back on the bed, I put it all nice, and Ryan doesn't do that.
Do you do that all the time?
Pretty much. Not when you're on 2:10, no, because you're the last one to get out of bed.
Okay. All right then. I've listened to it. I'm not going to do anything about that because I know you haven't listened to my annoyances from this week.
I have.
You can see you glazed over going, whatever, dickhead. And you're just like, let's move on. But they're out in the open now. They're out in the open.
I will do the things that you've said.
Will you? We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. I'll update next week.
Anyway.
Anyone got in touch this week?
Yes, they have.
Let's start with that.
So last week on episode 5, we talked about romance.
Yes.
Oh. And we got a lady. She hasn't said that she wants to be anonymous or anything like that. So I'm just going to read her name
If
out.
people don't say they want to be anonymous, just get their
Yeah.
name. Just put their name out there, and she doesn't say anything too bad anyway.
No.
So
She said, her name is Summer, and she said, there is truly nothing more romantic or sexier than making each other laugh. And it only grows as we get older. If you can laugh, you can get through anything. Well, I mean, that's very true because we literally laugh all
Yeah.
the time.
thanks for that, Summer.
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate
true.
that.
It's a true fact.
And it proves we've got people actually listening
It
as
is,
well,
yeah. So,
which is
yeah.
nice. Anyway, this week's episode is about kids.
Oh, good old
yeah, kids. So we were going to have a guest on this week, but it turns out our guest wasn't interested.
No.
Our guest was going to be our 11-year-old son, and not interested in the slightest. We've tried, doesn't want to come on. I was going to not swear. I was going to be polite and everything, but we'll just have to crack on without the shithead now, won't we? And just move on. Doesn't want to be. Are we not cool parents then?
I think we are.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Did you think your parents were cool when you were 11 years old?
Nah, that's the thing, innit? Probably not. We feel like we're cool.
We
In
are
the same
cool.
way that my parents probably felt they were cool and your parents probably thought they were cool.
My parents were cool.
Were they?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
I do think we're cool, though.
Anyway, so kids.
Kids.
So
We have one, yes.
It's titled kids. That's the general, but we don't have plural of kids, do we?
No.
We've just got the one. We I don't know what I was going to say then. Quite early in our relationship, we went, we're having a kid, didn't we?
I think it was about 6 months.
Yeah, was there? I think we definitely talked about it before that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I think we started trying.
6 months in. Yeah. Honeymoon period over. Down to business.
Bang.
Bang. Down to business. Let's get this sorted. And then we got pregnant. I hate people who say that, so I don't know why I said that. You got pregnant.
I got impregnated, yes.
Yes. Quite quick.
Really quick.
Really quickly.
Ridiculously quick.
And then he was born.
Super sperm.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, it was but it was what we wanted. You know, it wasn't not planned. It was very much planned. When he came along, he was a little bit early.
4 weeks.
4-ish weeks, wasn't it?
No, he was
a little bit longer, wasn't it, than 4 weeks?
Well, I was 36.
4.5.
I was 36 plus 1.
Okay.
So, yeah, 4 weeks.
And then, a little bit early. When he came, you know, you have this 9 months to prepare, or 8 months in our case.
Yeah.
Did you feel? Because when we decided to have a kid, I thought we're ready for this,
and it's going to take months.
Yeah, and I'm ready, and we're only going to get readier, if that's a word, right? When he arrived, how did you feel then?
Well, it was very surreal. You know, sorry to be gross, but looking down and seeing a head popping out of you is very bizarre.
Do you remember when your waters broke?
Yes.
Because your waters broke. I remember I was in bed.
It was about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and you shouted me, and you said, I think my waters are broke. And I went, shut up.
I think you've just pissed yourself.
Get back into bed. You've probably just pissed, because you were big, weren't you? Because you were slim, weren't you? And then you got pregnant, and it was just like,
It was all on my belly. It wasn't anywhere else.
Yeah, completely. And I was like,
missed that
look,
figure.
all the weight, you probably just pissed yourself. I said that, got back into bed. Anyway, we ended up ringing the hospital, didn't we?
No, I rang my mum first.
You rang your mum.
Mum, I think my waters are broke, but Ryan thinks I've wet myself. My mum was like, ring the hospital, Sean.
Yeah, so they got us in.
Yeah.
Got there. You popped him out.
I wasn't in labour for that long. I think
you went. I found it quite tiring.
Yeah, Ryan had a little kip. I think I've got a picture of him kipping.
Yeah.
I was on the bed with all these blimmin' things strapped to me.
I mean, the early part of giving birth is quite boring for the man, I'll be honest.
Boring for the mum as well, to be honest.
It was a bit boring, and I was it's just sitting in a hospital, isn't it? Who wants to sit in a hospital? It was boring.
It was.
And then all the fun happened.
When I
And like you
started
said,
having
the head comes
contractions.
out, and you're like, "Oh my god, what's going on here?" And then he comes out, and we all have a little cry, don't
Do you remember before he came out? Or actually, no, I was literally just pushing the last of him out.
Yeah.
And my dad was ringing my mum, because my mum was there as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm close with my mum. I love my mum very, very much. And my dad, obviously. But my dad was in work. And he rang my mum. She didn't answer, obviously, because she was holding my hand, because you were down the business end. And then he rang my phone and basically left a message on one of our phones saying, will someone tell me what's going on? I want to know, because we obviously knew we were having a boy.
Yeah.
Will someone tell me what's going on? I want to know if my grandson's been born.
Yeah.
And my mum rang him literally as he came out and said, we didn't answer the phone, Robbie, because your grandchild has literally just been born while you
Yeah.
were ranting on the phone. But yeah, the emotion was a bit, I think I was sick afterwards.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, I remember that. And you went off for a bath, and then they handed me the baby.
And you were like, oh shit.
No, that is exactly what I was going to say. I was holding the baby. I had a little selfie with the baby
You
on my
did.
mobile, and then I looked down, and I was like,
Oh my God.
They say you just feel this like overwhelming love straight away. That wasn't my first thought. My first thought was, oh shit, we've got to keep this alive. Now, keeping him alive for 11 years, I think that merits some sort of award, because when they get older, it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's to not let them die.
Yeah, they're pretty
feed
self-sufficient.
feed them, bring them in when it's
Yeah.
raining, give them somewhere to sleep,
It's not a dog.
all that sort of stuff. It's easy.
Yeah.
But when they're young, and you don't know what's wrong with them, and they're crying all the time, and then they're just shitting and eating, and it just repeats and recycles round, and then you don't know what's happening. Why is it crying now? Oh, and
It's crying.
it's just a nightmare, though, isn't it? And then it was. Do you remember? And I just didn't know at the point. You know, when we went, well, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. First night you were in hospital, you were a bit panicky, weren't you?
Well, do you know what? I mean, I was in hospital when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I've never been in hospital for anything else.
No.
And I was, we had him at 10 to 1, 10 to 2 on a Friday. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I said, I should be able to go home, no point me staying here.
I thought I could probably catch the pubs if we could get it turned around nice and quick.
Yeah.
Friday night and all that.
But I ended up staying in, and I was very anxious about it.
Yeah.
I just remember he was obviously in next to me in one of the clear bed cot things that they have. And I just kept looking at him going, I've got to look after you. I've got to look at, and then he started crying. I was like, oh, just stick him on the boob. So I stuck him on the boob, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Am I giving him food?
Yeah, because I stayed with you for a bit, and then you were like, don't leave.
Oh, I was so emotional. Please
then-
don't leave me.
And then they made me leave.
It was about 9:30, I think it was.
Yes, and you were like, "Look, just stay in touch with me. Keep in contact." You had your mobile.
Did he keep in touch? No.
I went home. I was tired.
Oh, sorry. Did you just push a human out of your
No,
bits?
no, I didn't. But I was tired at that point, so I went home, and then I watched. I think I watched.
One born every minute.
No, did I, Al? I got into bed, and we had a TV in the bedroom in them days, didn't we?
Back in the day.
And then I put something on the TV, got into bed, texted you a couple of times, fell asleep.
I was just like, oh, I hate him.
Yeah. But yeah, and then it was like
right. This is true. This is right. I was so desperate for a wee. From the moment that Ryan had left me, I should have gone before he left me, to be honest. But I was dying for a wee all night. But because I'm so paranoid, I didn't want to leave Alfie, even though
someone stole him.
Yeah, or swapped him. So I didn't
How
realise.
would we know though?
Oh, you can tell. Alfie's you could tell.
Yeah, but I reckon. See, this is the thing with me, right? Conspiracy theorists.
Nobody
theories
swapped
and
our
all this.
child. Trust
No,
me.
no. But I reckon if he had been swapped, right? I think because in your head he's your child, I think people would just pick out characteristics and go, oh, he's got your eyes. I think people would do that anyway. I know people, I've heard stories, right? No, don't look at me like that. I've heard stories, when people adopt a kid.
Yes.
And then they're like, they meet
turns
someone.
out it's their
No,
kid.
shut up. Well, when they're on holiday or something like that. And then someone goes, oh, families talk to families, don't they, in their holiday and go, oh, you can tell he's your son. He's got your smile. And they're adopted. So that's what people do. They say, oh, this is your son. He's got this about you. People do that all the time.
Which
You'd
is
never know.
Trust me, I didn't go to sleep at all.
No.
And yeah, he's definitely ours.
Yeah.
But there was a woman opposite me, rough as you like, and she kept leaving her baby and going down for a fag every half an hour. I was like,
maybe it was
a
a seventh or something.
Oh, I think she had quite a few because they
Yeah.
came and visited. Yeah, there was a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first night. But I think the next day is the day that sort of went, oh shit. Shit's just got real. I think I remember we obviously I think we left the hospital. I think I was in hospital for 24 hours in total. We
After the birth.
yeah. No, from the time I went in to the time I went out.
Were you?
No, it wasn't.
No. I think it's a bit more.
It was
than
about
that.
tea time though that we came out the
Yeah.
next day. Anyway, I remember you went to get the car, and I was waddling down the corridor, and then you obviously walking, doing the dad thing, walking him down the corridor
Yeah,
while you're
yeah.
slowly, just
Yeah.
limping because you've just shoved
Yeah.
a baby out of you. And it was January, so it was freezing. But I remember sitting in the car. We didn't even have a car seat, did we? We had to lend one off someone because ours hadn't arrived.
Yeah, because he was so early. Yeah,
So that was a bit of a traumatic thing. But yeah, we had a car seat anyway, and put him in the back of the car, made sure he was secure. Did I sit in the back with him?
I don't know. I barely remember him bringing him home, to be honest.
It was. But then we got home. We lived quite close to the hospital at that time.
Yeah, we did, to be fair.
And I remember we both just sat on the sofa, him still in his car seat, and we just looked at each other and went,
Yeah.
"What?
Yeah, I know.
What do we do now?"
I know. We're talking about multiple kids there with that woman with multiple kids. How many did you want?
2.
You wanted 2.
I wanted 2.
I've only got 1, obviously.
Yeah, I'm
but
sad about that.
I see. It's my saying that I always say. I always wanted 3, and then when I had 1,
I didn't want
I
any
realised
more.
they didn't. What?
Oh, you didn't want any?
I realised they didn't want any.
Oh.
Thanks for cutting across my joke.
Well,
you
it's not funny.
dick.
It's not funny.
It's not my joke, actually. It's Lee.
Well,
it's Lee Mack's joke.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh,
it
well,
is.
stop copying other people's comedy.
Whatever. Yeah. So, let's fast forward a bit, kids. So remember, he went into nursery, and then obviously school. I remember leaving him at nursery. Actually,
He was 10 months old.
he was. You went back to work, didn't you?
Yeah.
Back to earn some money
Yeah.
instead of sitting on your ass at home all day.
Oh, yeah,
with a
because that's
baby.
what we do.
That's what mums do. No, I'm
Yeah.
joking. I am joking before people start. But yeah, you went back to work, chucked him in nursery.
Only 2-3 days a week.
Yeah, 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
And then he obviously goes to school.
At 3.
And then, yeah,
we're
no.
in Wales, so-
Yeah, time just sort of flies, though. It's odd, isn't it, when you've got kids? Because I think when you don't have kids, the only real barometer you've got for how quick your life is disappearing is birthdays.
Yeah.
And they seem really far apart, don't they? You're sort of going, well, they're a year apart, but they
Not anymore, they don't feel like that.
they seem, but then when you've got a kid, you've got a constant reminder that time is ticking away because they're always changing and sort of he looks different, and then you sort of like wake up and you're going, when did he look like this? It's like, oh, I haven't paid attention for a week and he looks completely different to what he did before. I think it's odd having a kid, and it definitely makes, because are we old having kids? What was I? I was 30 when he was born. What's normal? Or is there no normal
I
anymore?
think our generation, it's older and older.
Do you
Like
think?
when obviously our parents, actually your mum was 30.
My mum and dad were, but to be fair, I think that was probably unusual for the time.
Yeah. Because my mum was 21 when she had my brother. She got married when she was 18. At 21, she should have been 22, but my brother was like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks premature. I think it was like 2 months premature, 3 months, I don't know. Very premature. And yeah, my dad was 20. He would have been 22. So it's like,
I don't know what normal is anymore for
I think
having
now,
kids, to be
I
honest.
think people have their kids later because women have their careers and stuff.
Do they?
Yeah. I didn't give a shit about my career.
You had a shit job, that's
It wasn't
why.
really a career, to be honest. I was glad I left work and the next day I had a baby, so I was quite glad.
Yeah, it was quite weird. What did I have? 2 weeks off?
You had
And then
two-
I had 2 weeks holiday. I was fuming about that, you know.
Why?
Do you know the thing that annoyed me about it? Is every job I've ever had, your holidays have been calendar year. So they start in January and they end in December. Every job I've ever had. I know
Yeah.
some people's holidays are different. So they're like
April to
April to
April.
April or whatever. Mine have always been calendar year.
Yeah.
And having to take 2 weeks holiday in January, knowing you've got 11 months left, I wasn't happy, you know. I really wasn't. All that time to go. But that 4 weeks flew. I remember that
did.
4 weeks
I
really
remember the day you
flew.
went back to work. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah, it was great.
For you, maybe, yeah.
But we used to do that thing, didn't we? You used to go to bed at about, because you obviously was breastfed. You used to go to bed about 11 o'clock at night, didn't you?
Something like that.
On like Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then I used to stay up until, was it 3 in the morning
I
or
don't know,
something
you used
like
to
that?
do his feeds, didn't you, at night?
Yeah,
'Cause
I used to do the night, and then I
expressed.
used to go to bed at about 3, 4 in the morning
Mm.
to let you sleep. And then when he woke up,
I got up.
you got up then, and that was the
Yeah.
best way we could sort of think, where you got a
And then
couple
when
of
you-
nights.
Well, I think it was just like, mixed when you were on paternity. But then when you went back to work, I think you stayed up a little bit in the week. And I obviously got up with him during the night so you could sleep because you had work the next day. So,
Yeah.
it did go quick.
What-
To be honest, this past 11 years has gone like really quick.
Flown.
It's disgusting.
It is. It's horrible.
I've still
You
got-
look at him now, and it's gonna get even freakier over the next couple of years, because at the moment that it's like, oh, he's in secondary school, and when you go, bloody hell, that's come so quick that he's now in like secondary school, and but he's still, when you look at him and you talk to him, he's still very much a kid. He's very much a child.
Yeah.
Because, when you talk to him, he's still into kid stuff. He tries to be a little grown up now and again, but he's still very much a kid. Give it a year or two,
Yeah.
and his voice starts changing and all that. Oh my God, the monster will be born. He's a bit of a teenager anyway, which I think most kids are these days, a lot younger than
Yeah.
maybe they used to. But everything's going to change in the next couple of years, and he's going to be a different person
I
completely.
thought you were going to say he's going to be a dad then. It's like, bloody hell.
Fucking hell, no. I hope not.
Actually, saying what you just said, the other night we had a bin delivered from Amazon, and so we obviously had the cardboard
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
And this is a great
This is
example.
This is how rock and roll we are. We had a bin,
Oh, it was amazing.
new bin, It's all right as well, actually.
It is all right.
I quite like it.
It's like, yeah, touched
Touched and all
up.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, so we had this cardboard box, and I stupidly, because I know what Alfie's like with a cardboard box, I stupidly left it in the kitchen. And when I went to pick him up from his Nan Tidies, he obviously saw the box and he was like, saw his eyes light up. He was like, oh my God, a cardboard box. But basically, this is the Alfie that I love, because he's 11,
Yeah.
but he is an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And he was making, what was it, Fazbear or something?
Yeah, from Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
So yeah, he was trying to make a costume out of that. But he didn't, to be fair, he didn't do much of the work. I literally sat there. I was watching the football.
But that's nice, though.
It was, do you know what? It was such a lovely, we had the football on. He didn't go upstairs and play on his game that he usually does. It was really, he told his friends that he couldn't play with them that night. And he literally just was making this cardboard box thing. And I never get that with him.
No, you got to hold on to that shit.
I know.
Because them nights are so far and few and far between now where he goes, I want to do something with you tonight.
I know.
That never happens, ever.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And I think the teenage years are where it disappears. And then it does come back. You asked him, you asked him such a, and I'm going to say this, we're as a family, we're quite
weird.
No, well, yeah, we are weird, but we're quite open as well. We'll just ask each other questions. Nobody really gives a shit. They'll just ask, if they've got a question, they'll just ask it, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking the other day, about divorce for some reason. It's so odd, right? But
it's never going to happen.
No, just me and Sean were talking about divorce. And I think we were talking about it because of, I don't know what we were talking about before it. Like when you fall down a YouTube scroll hole, we have that with conversations and we move from one to another, right? And then we were talking about something. We ended up on, I think it was division of property. When you're married and all this sort of stuff. And then we went, oh yeah, division of property when you get divorced. And we were sort of talking about, well, what would you have and what would you have? And I don't know why we were talking about this. It wasn't like, we weren't talking about it off the back of an argument or nothing like that. It was literally just like quite a light-hearted.
I think I had off the cuff said, oh, I could chuck you out of this house at any point and you won't get anything. But then I said, oh, actually, you've contributed to the bills for so many years, so you would get it. Anyway.
Yeah. And then Shan turned to our 11-year-old son who was sitting in the room. This isn't like a private conversation, you know what I mean? And she said to him, Alfie, if we got divorced, who would you live with? And I shit you not, he didn't skip a beat. He just went, Daddy. Like that. He just went, Daddy, 100%.
I was like, oh.
But this is the question. What answer were you expecting there?
Well, he is. He won't admit it, but he is very much a mummy's boy.
But why didn't he say you then?
Because I shout a lot.
I shout when I need to.
Yeah, exactly, when you need to. I get stressed too easily.
I've built a foundation. You
play Fortnite with him. That's why he wants you to live with you.
I built a foundation of I've set rules. I've shouted when I've needed to the level where he goes, I'm not messing with that. And then he knows now what the boundary is. You have created zero boundary. And he runs around you like a maypole. And that is your problem.
I know.
Yeah, we all know. We all know the
we
problem.
Know. We do.
But it's secretly what kids want is they want to know where they stand. They don't want wishy-washy. They want to know where they do. No kid under the age of 15 will ever admit this to anyone, but they want to know. They like to know where they stand. That's just a fact, and I've created that. But I'll be honest.
You Dad of the Year?
No, shut up. Right? I'll be honest. For the first 7 or 8 years of his life, I was very much
Sidelined.
second favourite parent, 100%. And it got to the point where it didn't piss me off because his favourite parent was my wife. So that's okay. If his favourite parent was somebody else's mum or dad, I'd have an issue. But but his
I would
favourite
as
parent,
well.
it was you. And that's fine. And it's not upsetting, but it's sort of like, why aren't I the favourite one? You know,
And now you are.
but you know, it does swing round.
He's
It
very
does.
much like I have to tuck him in about 10 times at night.
Yeah, very much a kid. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. Yeah, he's very much. I do think he's a mummy's boy. But he is very much for you as well.
I think me and him have got I don't know really. We have got I was going to say very similar interests. We haven't really. Apart from sort of gaming, we both got an Xbox. We both like quite similar games. We both play FIFA. We both play Fortnite. You know, there's in that sense we've got very similar sort of it's not really interest to say it's one thing, but that's a big part of his life. He's very into gaming, but he's very into tech as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you with tech, you're like a granny who has never seen a phone before, and so he always comes to me to answer questions about like iPhone or whatever, or MacBook or whatever, one of the many spoiled shit things that he's got.
Yeah.
But you know, he'll come to me for that. So I think maybe in that sense, maybe that's where that's come from. Whereas when he was younger, he didn't give a shit about any of that stuff. Now he does. So now he's gone, this dickhead is more important to me now because I need him for the tech side of things. Whereas this one here just tucks me in. And you know,
Oh, great.
no, I'm only joking. Do you know your biggest downfall?
Oh, God. Well, this is a good podcast, isn't it?
No, your biggest downfall
Knocking Sean
as a
away.
parent, right,
Yes.
is he knows what buttons to press, right?
I know he does.
And, right, this is what happens, right? Just to give you an insight, as Sean said, I work shifts. Sometimes I work mornings. When I work mornings, I'm here in the evenings and I cook the tea, okay? The dinner, whatever you say.
Supper.
Yeah, supper.
Supper.
And when I am on afternoons, I'm not here in the evening. Sean cooks or goes somewhere for dinner or
Yes.
whatever. Now, this is the problem that you have created for yourself, right? Now, when Sean cooks, or when Sean will give him a choice.
I didn't tonight.
No, but she'll give him a choice, right? And he will refuse every single thing you do. Do you know why he does that?
Because he wants a McDonald's.
He does want a McDonald's. And why does he want a McDonald's?
He knows I'll get him one.
Because he knows you'll get him one. And that is the problem. Why does he never refuse anything that I cook him? 2 reasons. 1, I don't give him a choice. And 2, he comes down and he looks at it. He might not want it, but he knows he ain't getting no fucking McDonald's out of me. He knows that for a fact. And that's the biggest difference.
Well, this evening, I didn't give him a choice. I put tea in, and he came downstairs, and he took it, and he ate it.
That's what you need to do.
I know.
And I've told you this before.
But I like to give my child options.
And what does the option end up doing? Costing you money. So how does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't happen all the time. I don't feed my child McDonald's every single time that you're on 210.
No, you don't. You
No,
go,
I don't.
You
I
go
go
to your mum and
somewhere
dad's.
else.
My
I
mum and
do.
dad's.
I do. I'm not ashamed to say it.
One lazy bitch. Anyway, right, we have come to an end of talking about kids. Did you enjoy that one?
I did.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think
went. It
so.
went as quick as a flash as Alfie's life has gone.
It does. Well, look, we've got a few episodes coming up. We're going to do a Christmas one soon. I've had a couple of beers now, so
Yeah.
we've got a Christmas one coming up. We've got a guest coming up.
We
as
have,
well.
and I'm so excited about this.
I'm excited about the guest. I'm excited about the guest. So we're looking forward to that. Look, if you want to get in touch,
Yep.
where do they do that?
All the socials.
All the
TikTok,
social-
all the socials. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Oh no, not Facebook. We're not on Facebook.
Oh, my
I hate
God.
Facebook. I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't really like it. Anyway, yeah, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and you can email us at the For Better For Worse podcast at gmail.com.
We're not big enough yet that we can afford our own domain. So Gmail are very kindly hosting our emails for us at this moment in time.
As they are millions of other people.
As every week, it has been an absolute pleasure.
It has.
This is the only half an hour that we speak to each other during the whole week.
I hate him, really.
No, it's fun. I do enjoy these.
Yeah. Even if no one listens to them, we're having fun. So.
We're having fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I've gone from that to saying thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. We will what will we do?
See you next Friday.
Will we see them? We're not going to see them.
We will hear you, listen
We will
to you.
entertain you next week.
Bye.